I'm sure you've heard the Eastern Partnership is one of the focuses of both the Latvian presidency and of Latvian development cooperation. There will be a big summit on the Eastern Partnership in Latvia in May, and so it's entirely proper and right that we have a representative from one of the Eastern Partnership countries, the Prime Minister of Georgia, Mr. Irakli Garibashvili. He studied political science at the Sorbonne and was one of the founding members of the party Georgia Dream in 2012. And after they won the elections, he was Minister of Internal Affairs from 2012 to 2013, after which he became Prime Minister. Mr. Garibashvili, please.
Thank you. Excellencies, dear colleagues,
ladies and gentlemen, first of all, it is an honor and a privilege to be here today.
Over the coming 6 months, the Latvian presidency of the European Union has many important issues on its agenda. This is both a challenge and an exciting opportunity for Latvia to contribute to finding solutions to the hurdles the European Union faces today and at the same time promote the Union's role as a global player. The first big event of the presidency is devoted to the opening of the European Year for Development 2015. And the fact that this initiative also came from Latvia pays tribute to the vision of this country and the strong support you consistently provide to the promotion of sustainable and inclusive development in Europe and worldwide. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude for Latvia's firm and continuous support and assistance to Georgia and our European and Euro-Atlantic aspirations. I'd like to particularly mention Latvia's invaluable efforts to further develop the Eastern Partnership initiative. The fact that strengthening the European Union Eastern Partnership cooperation is among the top priorities of the Latvian presidency speaks for itself. And I'd like to thank you again for the invitation to participate in this very important event and share the experience of my country. Over the recent years, the world has witnessed Georgia's profound transformation and rapid development. The Georgia of today is another world compared to that of two decades ago, or even 2 years ago. The basis of this transformation has been a deep and comprehensive reform program to establish good governance and institutional democracy. This is, of course, a work in progress, which requires tremendous and consistent efforts. But the Georgian experience demonstrates how, with the will of the people and the government, and the invaluable support of the European Union and the international community, these efforts can bring enormous benefits to all. At this point, let me express our gratitude for the European Union's financial assistance targeted at Georgia's economic and social development, enhancing educational and cultural cooperation, strengthening the judiciary and human rights. Various programs and projects aiming at modernization of Georgian state institutions play a substantial role in our progress. And with the support of the European Union and the wider international community, we have taken concrete steps to effectively break the vicious cycle of government corruption, impunity, and an economy that only benefited a few. We have laid the foundations of a true democracy with a system of governance that is more open, more transparent and accountable, and upholds the rule of law. We have strengthened the democratic institutions and established stronger checks and balances. Our new constitution has decentralized executive power and created greater accountability at all levels of government. Our new human rights strategy and action plan are fully operational to meet high European and international standards. We have restored the rule of law by establishing an independent judiciary and instituting more rights to defendants. We ended impunity by government officials and torture and abuse in our prisons, which was a big shame for our country. We're proud that Georgia has been transformed from a corrupt post-Soviet state into one of the least corrupt countries in the world. The World Justice Report 2014 Rule of Law Index found that Georgia is the strongest overall performer within Eastern Europe and Central Asia as regards rule of law as well as absence of corruption. And my country was among the first countries to adhere to the values of the open government partnership by joining the initiative in 2011. On the top, in August 2014, the OGP member states elected Georgia to the OGP steering committee. And we all know that there is a direct link between a functional, real democracy and development. Democracy offers a framework for providing equal opportunities for development and the self-realization of each individual in society. The government of Georgia is undertaking a series of reforms to ensure a strong basis for inclusive growth. We recently adopted a national social economic development strategy, which sets out clear priorities for achieving sustainable and inclusive economic growth ahead of 2020. At the same time, the institutional reforms implemented by the government ensure and guarantee open and fair competition on the market, the protection of property and intellectual rights, freedom of access to an impartial judicial system, an effective financial system, and a stable and predictable and transparent legislative environment. So these reforms have made Georgia a leader across international rankings, such as the Index of Economic Freedom by the Heritage Foundation, we're number 22nd, or the Index of Economic Freedom of the World by Fraser, 16th place. The driving force behind all these reforms in Georgia's European and Euro-Atlantic aspirations, which unite the people of Georgia and their political representatives, it is our clear ambition to continue this process and be a success story in the region for the transformative power of the European integration process. So please allow me to reiterate that we firmly believe that open, inclusive, accountable, and democratic institutions are the cornerstone of a modern European state, and that this reform process constitutes the very essence of our European integration agenda. Over the coming months and years, we are confident that the implementation of the association agreement, including the deep and comprehensive free trade agreement that we signed in June 2014, will ultimately transform Georgia into a fully stable and functional pluralist democracy with effective checks and balances and strong democratic institutions. And this process, ladies and gentlemen, will also open new prospects for Georgia to gradually integrate into the European Union internal market and increase the country's attractiveness for foreign investments, which will bring modern technology and know-how, create new jobs and prospects for our citizens. In addition, Georgia has benefited greatly from global initiatives and is fully committed to the UN development agenda. Since 2000, Georgia has made significant efforts to attain the Millennium Development Goals, and by now has achieved most of them. Moving to the post-2015 development agenda constitutes a major challenge and opportunity for the world in implementing effective policies aimed at sustainable development and the eradication of poverty. My country is committed to contribute to this process both at the national and the international levels. We welcome the process of elaboration of the sustainable development. Transitioning from the MDGs to the SDGs will be a major milestone in world development efforts, opening a new chapter in consolidating international efforts to address climate change, world inequality, and other prescient challenges. We support the proposal of the Open Working Group on Sustainable Development Goals on 17 new goals. We attach particular importance to goal number 16, aimed at promoting peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, providing access to justice for all and building elective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Georgia is ready to share its experience, including as regards holding free and fair elections, fighting corruption, security sector reform, and legal aid. And we will continue our efforts to promote a peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development. Dear friends, despite all these achievements and our commitment to continue this path, of course, challenges remain for Georgia. A key concern is the occupation of 20% of our territory and the consequent issues of internal displaced persons and refugees. We seek a good relationship with all of our neighbors, but not at the expense of our sovereignty and independence, which we fought so hard to achieve. We have undertaken a number of constructive steps aimed at de-escalating tensions with Russia, but our efforts, unfortunately, have not been met with the same spirit of cooperation. We are committed to the path of reconciliation and restoring Georgia's full territorial integrity by peaceful means, and we will continue working to find a way for all our citizens, including our Abkhazian and Ossetian brothers and sisters living on the other side of the artificial barriers, to participate in achieving our common goals And these goals are the eradication of poverty and ensuring sustainable development for all by building a strong state which equally belongs to all citizens of Georgia. In conclusion, I'd like to emphasize once again the deep commitment of Georgia to developing and promoting truly open, transparent, participatory, collaborative and accountable government. I strongly believe that together we can make 2015 the year of development and success for our countries and the whole region. Thank you for your attention.